Hello, this is Frank McDonald, Instructional Officer for Secondary Science, and today I am going to share with you the new STAR item types in science. I was able to join a presentation where TEA was sharing some of the new STAR test items, and let's get started so we can take a look. So in 2019, House Bill 3906 was passed, and there was three big components to that. The first component was that it would eliminate the writing assessments for grades 4 and 7. Not that the kids would not be writing, but it would be embedded more into all the other tests. Second thing was that that all districts would be administering the STAR assessments and EOC's assessments electronically beginning in 2023. Um, and then finally, the third thing was it limits multiple choice items to no more than 75% of the STAR exam, which left 25% of the exam kind of up in the air. Last school year, 2019-2020, we addressed that issue by implementing the open-ended response into our 3, 6, and 9 week assessments. So we've already kind of gotten a head start. But now TEA is showing us that there are other options as far as the questioning is going to go. And I'm going to show you those examples now. So here they are, the new star item types. You have 12 new items. So a drag and drop, a hotspot, short answer, highlight text, extended constructive response, sliders, multi-part, drop-down list, graphing, text entry, multi-select, and cluster. Now, not all of these are going to be used for science, and some of them are more set for RLA type stuff. But the ones that are going to be used for science include the multi-part, the multi-select, the constructed response, the drag and drop, the hotspot, the inline choice, and the text entry. So let's take a look at what these things could look like. So a constructed response, we already have experience with this. We've already included those in our 369, and we are able to do these via Eduphoria. And as we are also able to do these through Nearpod. So we've done constructed responses. So here are some of the examples. This is a biology example, and where it says a cell is reproducing and acquires two mutations in separate genes. The mutations are shown in the table. So they still have to pull information from from a table, and then the question is which gene's mutation will have the greatest effect on the product and why. Now, with this type of open-ended response, you can see that right here there's a number 250. That means the kids will have 250 characters to answer this short answer response, this constructed response. If we take a look at the second example, this is an 8th grade example, and you can see by by the graph showing motion of an object, where the kids have to read the question carefully, then enter your answer in the space provided with the support answers from the details from the graph. Here, there is no character limit. So in this case, this is open. They can take as many characters as they need to answer the question. Now, they have presented us with these new star items, but they haven't necessarily figured out how they're going to grade these or how these will work. So obviously, a rubric will be involved in these, but the point value has yet to be determined. So that is still on the horizon. So, but here are the constructed responses and some of the examples that we may see. Selecting two options. In selecting two options, now here is an example, and this is a 5th grade example, and it says which statements describe the life cycle shown. So it says select two correct answers. They are given 5. The students are given 5 choices, and now they would have the option to click on these two of the correct answers. If we look at it in an 8th grade model, an 8th grade option, you can see the same thing. Which two statements are true? And they would have to look at the information from the graph and be able to do this. Now, can we create these? Yes, we can. On Eduphoria, you have the option to have 2 options being correct, as well as Nearpod. If we're using Nearpod, we've created a quiz on Nearpod. We do have the multi-answer option there as well. Drag and drops. This one's a little bit different. So here is an example. This is a 5th grade example, I want to say. And you have to click on this item, and drag it into the appropriate areas of the graph. And here is a biology example, same thing, click and drag. So you can kind of see it is a little more interactive for the kids. They do have just a different way to be able to express themselves, where these could have possibly been multiple choice answers, but now there is a little more interaction on these. How would we do this? We don't have the ability to necessarily do these on Eduphoria, but if we get creative, there could be a possible matching on Nearpod, which is possible. Also, if we used in PowerPoint, we could create text boxes and allow them to practice the drag and drop motion here. So maybe a table is created, and then these 4 or 3 answer choices would be separate text boxes. And if the kids are able to work on a PowerPoint, not in the PowerPoint presentation format, but just on a PowerPoint, they could potentially be able to drag and drop. Hotspot. In a hotspot, the students are going to be asked which of the best answers, or which of these options are the best answers. So they would hover over and click on the best answers. So you can kind of see this one says students add 4 grams of each substance shown to the container of water. Which of the substances will dissolve when mixed with the water? This is a 5th grade example. It says select the correct answers. So now in this case, if you notice, it doesn't tell you how many answers are correct. So the kids would have to go through and click on the best answer. So some of the answers may tell you select 2, select 3, but in this case, it doesn't give you that indication. Here is another. This is an 8th grade example, and it's asking 8 locations are shown on the weather map. Which 3 locations are most likely experiencing cool, fair weather with no precipitation? Here are their 8 options, and they would have to click on those areas where they knew that that type of weather was showing up. Now, can we do something like this on Eduphoria? At this point, no, not necessarily clicking on these areas, but we could turn these into multi-answer type questions where they would have to type in these different things, be able to select these different answers. So perhaps if you do make it a multiple choice, you do it make it multi-answer. This could be A, B, C, D, E, and they would, or A, B, C, D, E, F, and they could choose from there. Same thing for this. If you give 8 options, they could go through and click on those. Text entry. Look at this one. This one's a whole lot different than what we're used to. So for the 8th grade example, they chose to use the electron cloud model. Gone is the griddable. Gone is the bubble in the calculation that I've made. So in this case now, they have several options, and hopefully you can see through my screen that they can choose from here, or that they have to fill in. So this case, it's asking for atomic number. It's asking for number of positively charged particles in an atom, and then number of neutrally charged particles in each atom, and then the total particles in the nucleus of the atom. So this can give us an indication here. This is a great way. I'm excited about this, and I'm sure that a lot of 8th grade teachers, you use this kind of stuff as an assignment. So this is a great way to do it. Here is a biology example, and in this case, they would have to show a good grasp of the Punnett square. So it's asking them for a percentage, and they would type in their percentage here. So I'm excited about this. Can we do this in Eduphoria? Well, at this point, I haven't thought of a way. Maybe you guys can think of a way, but this could be an open-ended response. Maybe, perhaps, that we go through and we do it this way. But just for the kids to be able to see it in this form is just that idea of getting them used to thinking this way. Multi-part response. I like this one. So in this case, this is a biology example, and you can see that there is a picture that's associated with the question, and you can see that it says part A. Then it asks the student, which transport process is shown in the diagram? Well, now they're given 3 options. Okay, well, let me pick my option. Boom. I click on it. But then the next question is part B to the same question. And it's asking which pieces of evidence support the answer to part A. Select two correct answers. So now they're given 5 answer choices and they have to determine what evidence supported their answer in part A, and they're given 2 answer choices to do that. So this is a great way. This is a great way to start to see the thought processes that the kids have. Can we do these types of questions? Of course we can. So if we go into Eduphoria, if we go into Nearpod, and we want to create multiple choice questions along these lines, just it would be as simple as including part A and part B. In this case, in part B, there's multiple answers. We can just make sure we're clicking on that, and we give them 5 answer choices. So this is a great way that we can start to test our kids as well. That is it for the new STAR items. It should kind of jar the way that you think about our 3 and 6 weeks assessments, or in this case, this 9 weeks, our 4-week assessment. I do know that for the 9 weeks assessments, I will be making alterations and including these new types of responses just to get the kids ready for this thought process. Now, will it impact our kids this year? No, it won't, because they're not going to start testing this stuff until 2023. If they potentially could possibly put in some of these test questions into the EOC, into the STAR test. So we may want to make sure that they're getting used to this stuff, but more so it's for us, the teachers, to start changing our thought process and start changing the way that we are checking for understanding in those checkpoints that we're creating. So I'm very excited about this. I can't wait to test these out and see how they work. If you have any questions, you let me know, reach out, and we can figure this out together. So thanks for listening. I'm Frank McDonald. Bye.